CORA is the provider of comprehensive services for individuals impacted by intimate partner abuse throughout the county of San Mateo. The statistics are always hard for us to be able to talk about because this is a problem that happens behind closed doors. What we do know is that nationally, 1 in 4 women is impacted by intimate partner abuse, 1 in 7 men, and 1 in 2 transgender individuals are impacted by intimate partner abuse in their lifetimes. So what we know about CORA is that we get approximately 10,000 requests for service in any given year, and that is a wide range from reaching out to us for our 24/7 crisis hotline to asking for legal services, asking for emergency shelter, or maybe being contacted because 911 services have been called to their house.
CORA was having a show in the Studio 114, and I got to thinking, wouldn't it be nice to have a piece of art perhaps in their office with the intake happening for the women to have something that they could really enjoy while they were there. I also asked a few of my art friends if they might have pieces that would be available too. So they all rallied around that and said they would love to do that. It turned out to just be kind of a wellspring of a lot of great art coming together, people being very supportive. And I thought it was just a perfect place for us to show our support and our love for women that we felt needed a hand to hold or an expression of love. And that's what our work is many times for us, is our expressions of love for what we do and for people that we love.
CORA tries within its facilities to have a balance between being welcoming and being safe. So even when you come to our front door, it's a locked door, but when you walk into our lobby, it's a place that meets you with warm colors and with a children's wall. And now we have this gorgeous piece of artwork that is this giant red rose.
I grew up in an environment that was very difficult. I had a lot of addiction issues in my family. There was a lot of fighting all the time. And as a child experiencing that, I really had no way to sort of put it in perspective. And as a child growing up in that, I always found my art to be a great distraction for me. I love having my work in galleries and, in shows and all of that stuff. But sometimes I wonder if it isn't just as wonderful or even a little bit better to have it in a place like that, where normally people wouldn't have access to art. It's really helpful for all kinds of people to experience that. I think that's a perfect example of what transformative art can be. I would hope that even if it gives a little bit of solace to somebody or a little bit of happiness, then it's well worth it.
The artwork really speaks to the fact that we are about community, and about community both in terms of that's where intimate partner abuse happens, but also community is really what gives solace to somebody as they're moving through and out of intimate partner abuse. And so the artwork is just an absolute beauty, and it is inspirational. It is about where people can find peace, where people can take a breath in the midst of things, and where people can start to look to a positive horizon. I absolutely agree. It is not just for our clients, but it's for anyone, because walking into a domestic violence agency, you kind of think of the heavy, but it is really about the hope as well. And so for us as staff to be able to look at these beautiful paintings and photography and to see these messages from artists as well is uplifting. For donors, for community members to see that, and certainly for the clients. So I was in the atrium last week, and this is an area where our clients will sit while they're waiting for counseling sessions, or maybe their children are in a counseling session. So there were 2 moms in the seating area and their 2 kiddos. And I was bringing a community member through and pointing out the artwork. And the moms were like, I knew it was different in here. And then they started reading the passages. And one woman pulled the other woman up and said, you have to read this. And it was just about this statement of uplift from the women artists of Art Bias